Hello, my name is Pirik Kong, and I am shamelessly ripping off What Culture here. But seriously, I feel as if video game character wrestling deserves more content and something to say that's easy to circulate while still being fun. So I'm going to say how I book the current angle going on in VGCW and challenge, have faith that Toe & Co. can do it better. So right now, M. Bison's got everyone in a bit of a tizzy, mildly peeved. He's pissed off a couple of people by interrupting a great match between Scorpion and Vegeta. He seems to have this whole might makes right philosophy going on behind the scenes. He has his agents, Asura and Blood Falcon, attacking the Dragons and Shadow Ball, Moonstone Valley after their tag match. And he interrupts the career versus title match between Barrett and Dracula as The Price of Freedom was playing in the background and everyone was crying and everyone was trying to pull for someone, and that's just bad form, Bison. Bad form. Bison seems to be proceeding to tick off absolutely everyone involved with VGCW, including the audience, except for a very specific group of tweeners and heels. He seems to want to take the show by storm. Here's how I would do it. Do it better. So the next episode of VGCW is going on, and the intro sequence is going, and then static. And then bam! Bison, Asura, and Blood Falcon in front of the Shadaloo logo. And with them, the VGCW title. Bison can get off a good promo about how I've destroyed your heroes and there are no heroes here. Only power makes right. I've always crushed every fool in my path, so this belt being made of sympathy and respect is worthless. Blah, blah, cheap title match. Blah, blah, Barrett is weak. Something like that. Static again. Bison is holding the belt, but instead of the VGCW logo, it has the Shadaloo logo. And Bison says he'll give the belt to whatever wrestler proves themselves the most worthy tonight, with their cruelty and their absolute desire to win. The winner of this challenge will be Goemon. Now, Goemon's heel turn has been a long time coming. He can't get over with the crowd by being a nice guy. Abisamaru has totally overshadowed him with his creepy anime bullshit gimmick, and while he has a few devout followers for his overall solid ring work, it's going to take a lot of time and effort for him to get over as a face, and a heel turn could eventually lead to a better redemption arc. Now, in order to win the belt, Goemon is going to attack the hometown hero of wherever's being visited. Let's say he attacks like Hagar in Metro City or something. Now, this isn't going to be the main event. We're not going to run over another main event. But Goemon injures that opponent and then takes out whoever is slated to fight him. Goemon is not their challenger, but he takes out whoever is going to fight them. Abisamaru would be a great choice for that. And takes their place so that he gets an easy win. Now, they're still injured, so it's still possible that Hagar or whoever can come out on top, but they're damaged and the odds are greatly stacked against them. So when Goemon wins, he looks ruthless and not just like a massive dirty cheater. He lets them have their shot, however small it is. Bison is a man of his word, gives Goemon his belt. Goemon is technically, finally, VGCW champion. Now, by having Goemon here at the forefront, we allow Bison to take the back seat so the audience doesn't get tired of him at this kind of before a halfway point of the season. But it still keeps Shadaloo, the Shadaloo belt, Shadaloo boys, Blood and Asura, that keeps Bison's presence known. It keeps Bison there in the forefront. And this also allows Goemon to have a good feud with any challenger he'd like, or any challenger that arises. And Ganondorf can be to the audience, I can save you anytime I want, but I'm not a hero, never was, never will be. I'm a god. I am VGCW. I don't take belts from worms. I'll wait until this has been restored to its glory. Ganondorf out. Dracula, meanwhile, can take the time to work his way back to the belt the old-fashioned way, reluctantly having to climb the ladder and in a mirror to the same way that he lost his shot to Scorpion. And Barrett, well, he didn't achieve, so he decides to leave. Things screw him, but he made a promise to himself and to the audience, and his baby girl needs him more than the time it'd have to take for him to earn another title shot. Barrett leaves on good terms, but decides firmly that he is not going to wrestle again. So we're going into the Royal Rumble pay-per-view with the seeds of discontent sown, the token resistance of Gary and Vegeta ready, and Goemon ready to defend against whoever his challenger is. And I'm going to say it's Bowser, because holy shit, Ganondorf lording his case over Bowser ready to take his title away? Give it to me now. So the Royal Rumble pay-per-view happens, and everything just goes to shit for our heroes. Dracula is foiled at every turn to get things back to his VGCW. Cypher and Dr. Mario try to stop Blood Falcon and Asura from interfering with some lower card matches, but since they're not wrestlers, they're overwhelmed by these big burly men with big burly anger. Blood Falcon and Asura throw out whoever is challenging Shadow Ball, Moonstone Ball, Stone, Shadow Valley for the tag team championships. Or rather, they prepare to, and then as they're going to the ring, someone comes out of the crowd and stops Blood Falcon. And that is Ezio Auditore, trying to get the old El Capitan back. And before Asura can turn back and give Ezio one over, Giga Impact DDT into a Shadow Moon Valley driver. The match is delayed further down the card, but it's not cancelled. It's just enough time for Red and Illidan's challengers to recover. And for the second match, we can go ahead and skip Ash and Gligerman's intro and just have them already waiting in the ring. Honor is restored. We have our first little spot of hope. Moving on to the actual Rumble, it happens however it happens. We can't really rig that. But with an odd lack of faces. Anyone who went against Shadaloo is just not in the Rumble at all. No Ash, no Illidan, no Dracula, no Vegeta, none of Vegeta's court. Immediately after, we get a scene where Dracula and Vegeta storm into the GM's office and accuse Gary of rigging things or favoring Shadaloo or being a coward or whatever. Some very Gary thing. Gary says he has no idea what's going on. Lights go out. Bam, bam. Picture of a lit cigar piercing the darkness. We move on to the main event. Cypher is on standby. Everyone expects Bison to interfere, and he doesn't. It goes however it goes, and if Goemon loses, Bison just dismisses him on the spot for not being strong enough. He wins. Good for him. Bison doesn't need to toss him into the Psycho Drive to keep him useful. After the match, Bison's able to take center stage, and then we hear boom, 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 boom. The unenlightened masses, they cannot make the judgment call. It's Armstrong. With him, Armstrong has a briefcase, and in the briefcase, stocks and ownership of VGCW. Armstrong looks Bison in the eye. He says he likes his work and hands it over. Asura and Blood Falcon drag out Gary and Dracula, and the pay-per-view ends with Armstrong beating the ever-loving shit out of them. Armstrong has finally become the villain he needs to be, and VGCW is completely in the hands of Shadaloo. Now, unlike Dracula, who was biased, yes, but still pretty fair as a general manager, Bison is vindicative in his booking. Whenever a hometown is visited, the hometown hero will be humiliated. I'll just give a quick example. Say if they go to Inaba under Bison's watch. Kanji can be put out against a babyface like Phoenix Wright or Reno or someone like that. Kanji will be told to beat the ever-loving crap out of them. And if he holds back, there will be consequences. But no matter what happens, it won't impress Bison enough. And when Kanji loses, or when he doesn't win satisfactorily enough, he earns a video package of Naoto or another one of his friends being ambushed or attacked by Blood Falcon. He does that to anyone who he thinks has the spirit to stand up to him, and he takes them down one by one, in front of and using their friends and family. Bison is able to get the kayfabe universe and the actual wrestling universe against him through overwhelming power and cruelty. And if anyone upsets him, he can always just feed them to Nappa or something, because he can do that, and who's gonna stop him? Following that, we're likely to get something similar to the Dracula reign, where Bison books his boy Blood Falcon for the casual belt. Now, if Goemon is still champion by this point, Bison will be primed to start moving toward a monopoly on all of the belts, and Ganondorf will be even further pressured to be the big hero VGCW needs. If Goemon isn't the champion, Bison can brainwash them or torture them into following his orders. All it takes is one plot scene of them resisting and then fading to black before seeing their fate the next week. Blood Falcon is about to cheat in order to win his title shot when we hear ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Alucard shows up holding his father, still damaged from Armstrong's vicious beating in weeks prior. He challenges Blood Falcon to a match at Endgame to restore balance to this world that his father was actually trying to uphold, or some shit like that. And then Armstrong and Asura come out to try and slug the kid, but they're intercepted by Ezio and King Vegeta. So we have it slated, a 3-on-3 tag match, Ezio, Vegeta, and Alucard versus Blood Falcon, Asura, and Armstrong at Endgame. Legacies, friendships, and pride, with the names of the Birds of Prey and the Tepes family on the line. And most importantly, we make sure Alucard does not wrestle until Endgame. This will be his debut. No one will know how strong he is. The match will be a complete and total unknown. Meanwhile, we have whoever wins the Rumble eyeing the main belt, which is still controlled by some Bison insurgent, whether that be Goemon or a brainwashed champion. They put on some good shows and some nice exhibition matches, but most importantly, we connect them with Dan Hibiki. He'll be out for revenge on the injuries that the Dragons are still suffering from, especially that nasty pull shot that Billy took. He will teach them the Psycho style, and in one of their matches leading up to Endgame, they will use the Dragon Suplex as a finisher. They don't necessarily join the Pratts, but the Dragons get their well-deserved rest as heroes and leave a mark on someone, even if the Dragon Suplex just becomes a transitive move after the season. So we're at the Go Home show right before Endgame, and Bison takes center stage. He brags about how his plan is almost complete, and if there's anyone out there who can stop him. Then, Cypher's music starts. He puts everything together. Bison's psycho power is derived from pure evil, the evil in his soul. That's a fact. Street Fighter is stupid. Look it up. The more hatred he receives, the stronger he becomes. Literally. Cypher gets the entire disciplinary committee out there. Fade to wipe. Sound clip of a Psycho Crusher or whatever. All of them laid out on the floor. Bison poses an open challenge going to Endgame. Bring out the strongest to stop him, or Shadaloo will continue to grow. He will enslave every audience member, and then every soul, in 17 languages, in over 110 countries. So, the card for Endgame looks like this. Casual Championship progresses naturally outside of the storyline aside from Blood Falcon's meddling at one point. Tag Championship, Illidan in red, Illidan, if he's still champion, can have a few words, but it progresses naturally. 6-man tag team, Alucard, Vegeta, Ezio versus Falcon, Armstrong, and Asura. Main title, Rumble winner versus Bison's chosen champion, and maybe a Ganondorf cash-in after that. And at the end of the night, M. Bison goes Shin Bison. He shows the extent of his power and challenges anyone to stop him. Silence. Threatens to blow up and brainwash the crowd. Zubaz comes out. Bison throws an energy ball at him. Zubaz is blasting off again. Pitiful. Bison starts to laugh. And then from behind him, out of frame, hey. Steel arm knocks Bison to the ground. Barrett Wallace is standing there, saying how he couldn't let Bison make a mockery of this. And he doesn't hate him for what he did. He pities Bison for being so weak. And right now, he's not a bit nervous. So the big final endgame match starts up. Bison versus Barrett. Match goes on, but clearly Shin Bison just has the upper hand. It doesn't matter what Barrett does, Bison is just way too powerful. There is no way Barrett can win this initial encounter. Barrett's down on the mat, but he keeps getting up. No matter how badly Bison hurts him, Barrett refuses to go down. And then, going out from the ramp from the locker room, we hear, hey. It's Flint, and he's starting a clap for his tag partner. Then Dracula, hey. Then The Practice, hey. Scorpion, hey. Illidan, hey. Dan, hey. Alucard, hey. Vegeta, hey. Gary, hey. Red. The Disciplinary Committee, hey. The Spirit of Segata Sanshiro, hey. And hopefully, by this point, the entire chat is exploding with, hey, 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 hey. The match starts up again, this time on even ground. Both men pulling out absolutely all of the stops for the final match of the night. And Barrett, it doesn't matter if he loses, because he just gets right back up. No matter how many times he goes down, Barrett refuses to lie on his back and surrender. And through this, Bison gets weaker and weaker every time, because Big Match Barrett is finally in town. Through nothing but sheer determination, punch, punch, shove, big shot ending, Bison dies. And I mean he dies. He's not hospitalized, he is dead. Because that's just how Bison is. He can be saved as a psycho ghost until an even bigger evil arises, and then he can be brought back as the sort of force to equalize things. But until that point, the greatest threat to VGCW stays gone for a while. And Barrett, for all his troubles, put everything into this last match. His body gives out, and he doesn't die, but he's damaged to the point where he'll never be able to wrestle again. The current champ, whether it be Goemon or Bowser or Ganondorf or some other fourth person who doesn't matter as much, come out. They give him the belt, now restored to the VGCW logo. He can't be the champion, but he's earned the belt that he spent years chasing. They'll make a new one, but Barrett can take this belt home as a symbol, one that will never be taken away from him. And that's my opinion on how Shadaloo should take over VGCW from its rise to its fall. Please share comments, please like and subscribe, etc., etc. Tell me what you think, and I will be glad to see how I am outdone with this. I have absolute faith in Tone Company that they are planning something incredible. I wanted to give my own 2 cents for this, and I can't wait to have my socks blown off. Till then, this is Pyrrhic Kong, and see ya.